Hey guys, it's Ithlor. Today we're going to take a look at Blinding Flash, which is the first defensive skill available to the monk. This is an extremely powerful skill, especially since 1.05. So what it does is blinds all enemies within a relatively small range for 3 seconds. So the blind allows you to, within 20 yards, elite enemies do recover a little bit faster. I don't find it very much, but they do recover a little bit faster. But those that do recover a little faster have a 30% chance to miss you. So, again, it's great because of the fact that you can blind these enemies and they just sit there, allowing you to do damage. One of the other huge benefits is when you're dealing, and these guys aren't affected by it, but when you're dealing with larger enemies, including bosses, and you can see that they're getting ready to wind up for an attack, well, that's a perfect time to use this skill because they will then stop their attack in mid-swing, and again, it'll save you a significant amount of damage as a result. So it also works on these bees who, as you know, normally try to run away from you as quickly as possible. But so when they get near you, use Blinding Flash. It only has a 15-second cooldown, although I'm using Beacon of Yatar, which reduces the cooldown, so it's a little less for me. So the first rune is Self-Reflection, which just increases the duration from 3 seconds to 4 seconds. So again, not a big difference between this rune and the others, other than the fact that the duration has been extended. Actually, there's no difference between this and the base skill, other than the fact that the duration has been extended. So we'll do this one more time. And now we will go back to town and switch up the runes. This is one of those skills that I think is mandatory for almost any build. The defensive abilities that it provides is just insane. So blinded and confused, anyone that is blinded has a 20% chance of attacking a nearby enemy. So you can see out of the 5 that were hit, 2 of them became confused, and that confusion lasted a little bit longer. So we'll go through this one more time. That my cooldown's even less. So I didn't see that any of those got confused. The one enemy that was confused had been confused by my enchantress beforehand. So both blinded, neither confused. This is, in my opinion, the weakest of the 4 rune choices. Not only is it unpredictable, the 25% rune choice, or the 25% chance, does proc fairly often. It's just compared to the other runes, I don't find it overly effective. So let us try this one more time. They still haven't landed. Alright, forget it. Let's change up the runes, and so the next one is Blinding Echo. On paper, this doesn't look all that effective because it's still the 3-second cooldown, or the 3-second blind, sorry. And so then once they recover, then as you can see, a couple of seconds later, there's another blind that lasts for 0.5 seconds. And the 0.5 seconds won't help you whatsoever. They're blinded, they are stunned essentially, and then But that was exactly, I'm not sure if you noticed, but what happened there is he was blinded. I was then able to attack him. He recovered, and the second flash stunned him. And it just stunned him for a second. It interrupted his attack. So by interrupting his attack, it's a great defensive ability associated with it. And so this is a defensive skill after all. No, it's really good for offensive purposes. This is a defensive skill. And so that's what the rune choice allows you to do, is to stun them. Now, unfortunately, although this is a good rune choice, it's not the best rune choice, and I almost died as a result. So it's a good rune choice, but definitely not the one that I recommend. So let's go to town, switch things up a bit, and check out the last runes. So anyways, Blinding Echo is the most underrated rune, but it's definitely not the strongest. Searing Light, again, not a huge fan of this one. What it does is, after recovery, instead of having a 30% chance for the enemies to miss you, there's a 60% chance for the enemies to miss. So I'm not sure how easy it will be to show you this one, but we'll find a pack or two and try it out. So now that they've recovered, yeah, I'm not going to be able to show you this one. So anyways, we'll try it one more time. It just, after they can see again and start attacking you, there's less chance that they'll be able to hit you using this rune than any other. So the last rune is by far the most popular, and it's the reason, or one of the main reasons, why this is one of the most popular skills in the game. So the last one is Faith in the Light, which increases, not only do they are all of the enemies blinded, but for the 3 seconds that the enemies are, well, for 3 seconds after using the skill, your damage is increased by 30%. So as you can see, I went from 21,000 to 29,000. And so this is a extremely effective skill, because not only, like I said, are they blinded, but while you were able to attack them and they can't do any damage to you, is when you want the most amount of damage possible. Because you don't have to worry about kiting or anything else. And this is straight damage, not attack speed, so it's actually weapon damage as well. So again, this is an extremely powerful rune, and one that I would recommend unless you need it for the additional defensive purposes. I would suggest Faith in the Light is the skill that you put in your toolbar. So anyways, guys, any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thanks for watching.